Hey everyone, this is Franchesca, the head chicken wrangler at Alchemist Farm, here to give you the 10-minute mini class on how to introduce new chickens into your flock. Thank you for all of your suggestions on what the good topic would be today. I hope it's something that you find interesting. As you can hear, we're out on the farm. There's going to be some sound effects behind us of all the birds chatting. I'm going to cover as much as I can for the first 8 minutes of the class here, and then the last 2 minutes I'll take some questions. So let's get started. The first thing that I want everyone to be aware of is when you bring new birds into your flock, you want to make sure that they are healthy. So if you're going to be bringing adult birds in, you want to be getting them from a source that you trust. So if you're just finding them on Craigslist, or if it's not from a friend or someone whose backyard you've seen, you want to do a health check on the birds before you bring them in. A really simple, quick health check you can do is, if you're comfortable to, or have the person who's selling them to you, flip the bird over, look at their backside, make sure that their feathers are looking clean on the underside of their body, all around their vent. Look at their legs, make sure their legs don't look kind of scabby or scaly, things like that. Check in their eyes, look at their nose, make sure that there's no discharge coming from any of those areas, no bubbles coming out of their eyes. Make sure you're not hearing any sneezing, that they're standing normally, their tail is erect and up, and they just look healthy and vibrant before you bring any birds onto your property, because you never know what you're going to be bringing. If you go with chicks, make sure that you're getting the chicks from a healthy source that you know is good, that has good biosecurity, that took care of the chicks well in the brooder before they sent them to you, that practices good biosecurity for the overall infrastructure of their farm. So make sure you're getting healthy birds before you introduce them into your flock. When you do introduce them, if you have adult birds, what I like to do, and even if you do have chicks, and then when you put them out into the barnyard, is I put them into a dog crate like this one. It's a dog crate this is a size large that you can get on Amazon or any kind of pet store. And I like to use that kind of a crate because there's a lot of ventilation, and the birds that are inside can also see the birds that are outside really easily. And so they can smell each other, look at each other, and I keep the new birds in that size of a crate for 3 days. And on the night of the third day, I'll take the birds out of that crate and I'll put them inside of the coop where I want them to eventually go. They know it's going to be their new home. And I put them on a roosting bar, if you have roosting bars in your coop, at an equal level with all of the other birds. And this is important for the flock dynamic, because then when all the birds wake up together, it's as if they've all been together the whole time, and they're on an equal level playing field. If you put the new birds in below the other birds, that it's already establishing in the pecking order that they are a lesser bird. And as much as you can, you want to be making everyone equal in the space. So that dog crate, all of my coops are large enough for me to be able to put the dog crate actually inside of the coop where all of the other birds are going to be sleeping. If you can't do that, then put it as close as you can to where you want the birds to eventually roost and go in at night. So if it's just outside of the coop, maybe inside of an enclosed run, you want to be putting it there, because you're habituating the birds to, this is where I'm going to be, this is my new home. If you just put the birds out into the yard or let them free range the first day that you get there, then the birds aren't going to know where to go. They're going to be trying to roost in a tree. They're going to be a little freaked out. So you definitely want to put them inside of a crate, if you can, inside of the coop first. If you can't do that, then inside of a run on the outside of the coop. If you can't do that, then if it's not predator proof or something like that, because you definitely want to make sure the birds are safe, then what you can do is at night put the new birds into the coop without the crate, but wait till night and put them on the equal roosting bars with the rest of the other birds, and then they all wake up together thinking, oh, okay, I guess you've always been here, I guess we're going to be friends. And it might take a couple days for you to teach the new birds where to go at night. So be prepared, if you do bring new birds into your flock, that you're going to be wanting to check them for probably a week to make sure that they're actually going into where you want them to go at night. If you do free range them during the day, they might roost outside of the coop or under the coop and just not know how to get in there. So you actually have to lift them up, put them in there, and make sure that they're safe. Something that I also pay attention to whenever I'm adding new birds into my flocks is the time of year. because can also be a moment of stress for the birds. So I make sure to integrate new birds when it's not overly hot or it's not raining in harsh conditions, because weather can stress out the birds. Introducing new birds can also be a moment of stress. And so when I introduce the new birds, I make sure that I'm adding electrolytes and vitamins into their water, making sure they have plenty of clean food, plenty of space, the coop is clean. So all of those external factors are good for them. So you're creating like the best space as possible for the birds. And then adding the new birds in when the weather's pretty mild. If you need to do it at the height of summer, that's the only time you can, then just try and make it as comfortable of a situation as you can for the birds, because moments of stress can make the birds susceptible to different illnesses. Even if you don't have anything in your flock, then there could be something in the soil that could be latent there that then overtakes them. So you just want to be really careful when adding new birds into the situation, or any moments of stress for your flock, to try and keep it down, because then it's going to make healthier birds in the long run. If you're adding chicks into an existing flock, then I would do so when the chicks are at least 6 weeks of age after they're out of the brooder, and you can use that same crate technique. So that was a lot of talking, but I've got 2 minutes left here in the 10-minute mini class to be able to answer any questions. If anybody has any nitty-gritty specific questions about adding new birds, you can go ahead and type it in and I will answer it for you. And in the meantime, if I don't see any questions, then I'll just keep talking a little bit about what I do to maintain good health with the flocks when I am adding new birds in. So I mentioned the vitamins and the probiotics and the electrolytes in the water. And there's a lot of different brands out there. The brands that I like to use are Durvet, D-U-R-V-E-T, which is just a really good broad spectrum for all of poultry. It can also be used for goats and sheep and cattle and things like that. But it's a good one that you can make like a mother batch of and then measure it out in shot glasses into their water, so it's really easy. Great question here. What happens when a new bird gets pecked and is hurt? So that's a really good expansion on what happens when you do add new birds into the flock. It's totally normal for the next day, after they've all woken up together and looked at each other, for there to be a runaround in the barnyard and some pecking at each other, because they're establishing the flock dominance and who's going to be where in it, and maybe the new birds are getting chased off of the food a little bit. Totally normal. But if a bird is being cornered and pecked and bloodied, then that's not normal and that's not good. What you would want to do in that case is spray something called Blue Coat on the wound, especially if any red is showing, because chickens are attracted to the color red and they'll keep pecking and going after that wounded bird. The Blue Coat is an antimicrobial spray that acts like a Band-Aid, a second layer of skin, and it'll protect that red spot on the bird so it doesn't get pecked anymore. And as long as there's plenty of space, plenty of food, plenty of water, the birds might get chased around a little bit that are new, but they shouldn't be cornered and it shouldn't be an issue. So you should have good luck with integrating into your new flock. That was a really quick 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is what I have to keep it to be able to save the video and bring it over to the Instagram TV channel so you can all check it out there, because I want you to be able to reference this later when you're wanting to be able to add new birds to your flock. Thank you for joining me, everyone, and I hope that you have a really good day. And I think that we can do another mini class in a couple weeks here. So be thinking of some topics that you like, and I will cover it again then. Bye.